Committee. Some of our panelists at the last minute could not be here because of travel problems, so we have a few videos to fill in for them. Hopefully everything's a go here. We're just getting the technology underway. So our first speaker will be Uwem Otu. He is the International President of the Global NGO Executive Committee, and he's going to speak to us via video. I guess I should have started by introducing myself. I'm Dr. Connie Soban-Sensor. I'm a director on the Global NGO Executive Committee. I'm also a nurse and a professor by profession. So going back to Uwem, he was the campaign director of Stockholm Junior Water Prize competition in Nigeria. Uwem was appointed into the Collaboration Committee for Civil Society Organizations for the United Nations Development System Review Process, convened by the United Nations Secretary General in October 2017. Uwem was engaged as the Pioneer Country Chair, Global Network for Disaster Risk Reduction, and an implementing center of the United Nations International Strategy for Disaster Reduction. He is the founding president of African Youth Movement, and he has a diploma in Water Information Management from UNESCO IHE Delft, a Master of Science degree in Industrial Biochemistry from the Federal University of Technology, Owerri, and Bachelor of Science in Clinical Biochemistry from the University of OU. He spoke at the 58th and 65th Annual UNDPI NGO Conference in New York, and he was the representative of the 2002 UN Global Youth Forum in Copenhagen to the World Summit on Sustainable Development. He is the pioneer speaker of the Students' Union Government University of UYO. And we're going to now show Uwem's message to all of us. It's a welcome message, and he's going to speak a little bit about GNEC and the work that we do.
Good morning, good afternoon. Good afternoon now. Very, very honored to speak to you today. My name is Uwem Otu, and I am the International President of the Global NGO Executive Committee. The Global NGO Executive Committee is a coalition of NGOs that are affiliated to the United Nations through the Department of Global Communications. We have about 1,500 of those NGOs. Before we go further, I would like all of us to rise and give a minute of silence in honor of Patrice Skerata, former president of the Global NGO Executive Committee, who died in active service to this community. Shall we rise? So the soul of Patrice Skerata and the other fallen heroes rest in peace. I know most of you have traveled from different parts of the world to be here today. Sadly, I could not be here today because of certain issues. And I want to use this as an opportunity to tell our leaders, especially African leaders, this is the time for us to have one passport, one visa as a policy. I do not understand why Africans would need a visa to go to the United States. That I can understand. It's a developed world. And then Africans will still need a visa to tour our different countries. It's a shame. It's not useful. Not in a time like this. Let our leaders immediately start to work to ensure that every African can go to every African country without a visa. All you need is your passport. That gives you a ticket to go to any other African country. And if we have a policy like that, you would see massive development across the continent of Africa. So you want to doubt me? All right, go to the EU and ask the EU members how many of their countries issue visas to their members. I mean, if you are a citizen of Belgium, do you need a visa to go to Italy? Do you need a visa to go to Germany? Do you need a visa to go to the Netherlands? It's time we wake up to the realities of the current moment. We don't need visas in Africa if we're Africans. It's a shame. It's sad that I could not come today because of what? Because of immigration, because of visas and policies. Well, that's by the way. And so it's my honor to talk to you today about this conference. I want to use this opportunity to acknowledge and recognize His Excellency the President of Nigeria, President Bola Tinubu, who has delegated a high-power personality in the person of Honorable Dr. Abike Dabiri Irewa, OON, the Chairman and the CEO of Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, to represent him at this event. Shortly after my speech, I will call on our presentation. We are honored, Mr. President, and we want to work with you to ensure that going forward, we have an impactful government-civil society coalition so that we can ensure that development from the civil society community trickles. And we want to work side by side to advise, to ensure that the dividends of democracy trickles down to the common people. I also want to recognize all the people who have made this event today possible. Mr. Mahanasa, who's the director at DJC, we recognize you, thank you. The co-chairs of this conference, Nahara Yusuf, Carol Agenbo, we thank you. Our other colleagues who are also co-chairs of the subcommittees, particularly the ones that will speak at this event. I recognize Lola Ibrahim from the Women Against Violence and Exploitation, who is going to speak here. I also recognize my co-colleagues, directors in the Global NGO Executive Committee who have made this event possible. Ediola Pasholari, the president of GNEC in charge of the New York area. I want to recognize Sandra Timmerman, who is the secretary of GNEC. I want to recognize Brian Musas, who's the treasurer of GNEC, and my other co-directors and colleagues who are here. I know that Connie Sensor is here in person. I know that Nadine is here in person. I want to recognize these personalities. I also want to recognize Dr. Kelvin Majors, who is here also coordinating all of these activities for us. And to all of you who have come here today, it's such an honor, it's such a pleasure that this conference is coming to Africa for the first time since the day the United Nations was created 75 years ago. It couldn't have been at a better place. It couldn't have come at a better time. It's coming to Africa, and Africa is the continent. But let's not forget the challenges ahead of us. There are daunting tasks ahead. There was in almost every region of this continent. There's a looming crisis with an overbloated population of youth who need jobs. A lot of people are out there dying on the sea. They are migrating. They are going to Europe, they are going to America, they are risking their lives on the IC because of what? In search of a better life. All of this, we need to address them now. Look at the wars. Look at the wars and conflicts in Sudan. Everywhere the wars and conflict, this must stop. We need democracy in every country of Africa. This is not the time for military rule. No. We need democracy. We need a stop to all of these non-democratic practices. So as we sit down here today to discuss, let us have it at the back of our minds that all is not well. The future is sick. We need now to sit down together to design a process, to design a path that would ensure that the future generations, those ones coming, have hope. And so we support the agenda for the Summit of the Future and the People's Pact. And we want to use this as an opportunity to key into the process of the Summit of the Future. And so there's a lot of hope for us that if we collectively come together, we can force the process, we can enhance the process, we can collaborate with our leaders to ensure that there is hope for the future. So as we sit here today, we gather here today, we're going to hear about how to achieve the SDGs using artificial intelligence. How important it is in an age and time like this that from Africa, from where I'm seated, I've seen hospitals that have come to save human lives, not by leaving their region, not by doing anything, just by telemedicine and through internet. But what do? They bring the patients who are sick, put them on the table with the arrays of internet and all of that, cameras and all of that, and relay the sickness live, real time to their colleagues in Asia and different parts of the world. And together they synchronize, think of things, come up with an idea, and the doctors on ground deploy their services on the patient. And lo and behold, oftentimes it works. That's a good part of this artificial intelligence which we want to explore. And I encourage you to look at the GNEC exhibit zone. I'm sure that occasional managers will talk about this. Pro school and innovation using the artificial intelligence, designed by one of us and patented to this whole community. And what does Pro School do? So there's a lecturer sitting out there in Europe, in America, anywhere in the world, reaching out to every continent of the world, reaching out to every citizen of the world. He speaks in English, she speaks in English from wherever she is, and is translated to different languages of the world. We need to harmonize, we need to use this kind of skills to ensure that the dividend of the SDGs trickles down to all the communities of the world. So let's hope that with technologies like these, it will be easy to educate people. It will be easy to stop migration, because when these people sit down in their homes in their different countries and they are taught and they earn certificates and they earn a job globally and they are paid in good currency, why would they want to risk their lives to go on the IC and die? And so, on the one part, on the second part, there are also issues with the regulation of the artificial intelligence. And I'm sure we'll listen to experts who will tell us how to ensure that this technology is used with limitations. So, without further ado, I am very happy to welcome all of us in here, and I encourage you to join the Global NGO Executive Committee. If your organization is affiliated to the Department of Global Communications, here is the right place you need to be. Let us know who you are. Let us know where you stay. Let us know what bothers you so we can take it up together. So if you want to join us, please visit our website, www.gnec.ngo. It's now my honor and pleasure to invite our experts to please put on display now the president, the representative of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, who is going to declare this workshop open. I have the honor to invite Honorable Dr. Abike Dabari Erewa, OON, the Chairman and CEO of the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, to declare this workshop open. You are welcome, Your Excellency. Thank you.
Okay, so many thanks to for his video presentation. I also wanted to acknowledge someone else in the room who's part of our GNEC directors. Where did she go? Ola, over there with the camera. I want to make sure that you are included as well. So we're expecting the representative from Nigeria to be here, and she was called away to Dallas, but she has a very short, just welcoming remarks. And then we'll hear next from Dr. Kevin Murgis from the Saddle River Day School, and I'll be happy to introduce him as soon as we see the welcoming remarks.
Distinguished delegates, good morning. Distinguished delegates, good morning. And it is my pleasure to welcome all of you to this epoch-making gathering of civil society frontliners from all over the world. We're very pleased to note that since the inception of the United Nations, this is the first time that the United Nations Civil Society will be held in Africa. Such a pleasing experience to see this happen at this moment in time, a moment that truly needs to project Africa as the continent of the future. It's a remarkable episode, and I was going to be here in person with you as the representative of our president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, but unfortunately I was called to another event. As you can see, I'm reaching you here from America, Dallas to be precise, where I'm attending the US-Africa Summit. Now, I'm aware that the Global NGO Executive Committee, GNEC, was founded in 1962 to promote a closer working relationship between the United Nations and the non-governmental organizations associated with it. GNEC acts as a liaison between the NGO community and the UN Department of Global Communications. Now, GNEC, I know, provides guidance to help NGOs become more effective partners of the UN. The GNEC has for 60 years partnered with the United Nations to guarantee a voice at the decision-making table for civil society leaders. And that role has never been more critical as the world battles a global pandemic and a planet-threatening climate crisis, among other many challenges. Now, GNEC has served over 1,500 UN-vetted global NGOs, and they are the front line of tackling a lot of issues, present issues. And I know you provide support for these purpose-driven organizations in the effort to make sure that no one on the planet is left behind. Now, why are we here today? The Summit of the Future will take place in September at the UN headquarters in New York, and it's very important that we will mend eroded trust and demonstrate that international cooperation can effectively tackle current challenges, as well as those that have emerged in recent years or maybe yet over the horizon. The summit will adopt a negotiated, action-oriented pact for the future, annexed to the global digital compact and declaration of future generations, which are meant to deliver multilateral solutions for a better tomorrow. The 2024 UN Civil Society Conference, in support of the Summit of the Future, holding in Nairobi, May, under the title Shaping a Future of Global and Sustainable Progress, is the premier event in the civil society calendar at the United Nations ahead, of course, of the summit in 2024. Now, drawing on the history of the civil society's presence in San Francisco and the founding of the United Nations, the Civil Society Conference in Nairobi is an opportunity to showcase civil society as an essential partner in this global endeavor to safeguard the future of people and the planet. So I welcome all of you as we declare this open. I wish you all fruitful and impactful deliberations, and hopefully see you all in September 2024. Thank you, and God bless you all.
It is now my pleasure to introduce to you our first speaker, who's Dr. Kevin Murgis. And he really was the impetus, the ideas, and the motivation behind getting all of this started. And we have our two young gentlemen here who led our hackathon, and at the closing ceremony for the hackathon and announcing the winners will happen at the end of this presentation. So without further ado, you have a lot to look forward to. We're just getting started, and I'm a little apologetic that the people that we wanted to be here speaking live could not be here, but we're doing our best. Dr. Kevin Murgis is the Chief Global Impact Officer at Saddle River Day School. and at the beginning of his career, he taught secondary school mathematics and later at Rutgers University. He has presented at conferences around the United States and in over a dozen countries worldwide on the topic of communication through online environments, international education, artificial intelligence, and virtual reality as it can be used to communicate education to constituents. The Saddle River Day School is excited to work with NGOs and share our knowledge of emerging technologies. Dr. Mergis?
Thank you. And a little bit about me. I was a former treasurer of GNEC and got to know the NGOs and have been in schools for about 25 years now. And in the last since last July, we've been trying to build an AI platform to support the teachers in our school. It became so powerful that we realized it could help NGOs. And that's where I started reconnecting with GNEC. And could you do the next slide? And the company that built our AI platform for our school, Saddle River Day School, they have now formed taken the platform and made it available to NGOs and schools anywhere. So this is a little bit about how we work through. We feel that this particular platform is better than most, or maybe even the best, because of the time the teachers spent working with the company and giving feedback about what works. I'm going to go say hundreds of hours of feedback, Zoom meetings, and really making sure that the tech people, the companies in Mumbai, making sure they understand the whole process. You go to the next one. So the teachers started by testing it out in the fall. We were hoping for 3 lower school teachers, 3 middle school teachers, and 3 upper school teachers. We ended up with over 20 that wanted to try it out and give that feedback constantly to the AI companies. Thanks. Most of the tech companies, especially in AI, work a little bit like the U8 soccer team that you've seen on the fields, right? The little kids, they all run at the ball, and the coach is trying to get them to go back to their positions, right? The teachers need to step in with the tech companies and help them form a product that we really need. And NGOs work with their constituents and help their constituents learn, just like teachers help students learn. Next. So this is a little bit about what the platform looks like if you want to go and check it out. And I'll be available at the end of the session, but also downstairs we have an exhibit, and I can show you a little bit of how it works. We built a course for an NGO in Nigeria that wanted information about why it's dangerous to cross the Mediterranean in a small boat. And we wrote that course in Hausa. Yesterday, I did a physics lesson on Newton's second law, and I wrote it in Swahili. Not only most of the platforms available help teachers create content, this one goes further and helps them build assignments, and then it will grade the assignments for the teachers. One of the problems that teachers have is 80% of what they grade is actually correct. And this allows you to find the stuff that's incorrect, where your students need the most work, and move forward with that. Could you do the next one? Pro School has we have a pilot with 20 refugee young ladies who are going to be working over the summer, and that's our first experiment with the NGOs. What we're hoping is that we can also identify foundations that would help fund the NGOs in this, but also Pro School is developing a marketplace so that if the NGOs want to make their lessons, then they'll actually be able to sell them to generate revenue. And this is where we started to work with GNEC for how NGOs can get that opportunity. It has everything from you can see a little bit of the analytics, for teachers, it's important to know whether or not the student was just clicking through or actually had a lot to say. And it has timing and everything involved there. Can you do the next one? I'll make the lesson downstairs next time. And this is just how we think that online learning is going to help students and NGOs everywhere going forward. Next one. And yeah, I'm not sure the image isn't coming up there, but that's good. I think we're all set. I think that's the last slide. Oh no, click through that, yeah. It's okay, I don't know why that, yeah. Yep, thank you, yep. All right, thank you very much, and are we going to the hackathon next? Oh, Lo, there's going to be, okay, all right, sorry about that, yeah. Oh, yeah, okay. All right, Lola's going to speak. Do you want to introduce Lola? Okay.
Okay, sorry.
Hey.
Sorry. If you didn't hear me, I was saying how impressive what Dr. Mergis is doing and has presented to us, and I think that everybody can find it useful in some way. So Lola Ibrahim is the chair of the exhibits committee for this conference, and she's going to be our next speaker. She holds the esteemed role of chair of exhibits, and she embodies a legacy of impactful initiatives. She's renowned as a multiple award-winning public speaker, and she has fearlessly championed causes, notably leading to the annual 5K walk to end female genital mutilation since 2021. In parallel, Lula plays a pivotal role in overseeing multi-million NARA affordable housing projects on behalf of the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, where her proactive approach has led to the initiation of numerous projects and strategic partnerships. This underscores her exceptional leadership in project management. She's internationally recognized for her work to end FGM. Lola's influence extends across borders, and she's fluent in both Hausa and Yoruba, and she seamlessly connects with diverse communities. She's highly educated with experiences spanning Europe, Africa, and the United States. She brings a unique global perspective. Beyond her accolades, Lola is a dynamic team player, contributing her expertise to various professional organizations. Her extensive travels and multicultural exposure further enrich her collaborative approach. Her multilingual proficiency, educational background, and global experiences position her as an invaluable asset. She is poised to infuse her transformative leadership, linguistic versatility, and passion for positive change into the subcommittee's objectives, elevating the initiatives to new heights. And we're very happy to hear from you, Lola. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having me. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're all having fun and enjoying the conference. So Dr. Kevin has told us a bit about what AI can do. And what I'm going to do is to share real-time experience coming from Nigeria. I know a few people might have heard about Boko Haram in the northern part of Nigeria that has displaced a lot of girls from going to school. So what AI can do is to enhance learning for those people who are not able to be in classrooms. The quality of education that those people that are from the developed world can get in classroom, AI can make sure that those girls who are not able to be in classrooms get the same quality of education. So it can enhance learning, it can improve teacher education, it can improve administrative processes. So that's some of the things that AI can do. And like we all know, what does education do for you? It allows you to make informed choices. For the case of female genital mutilation, it's a cultural practice. And what is education doing to change the dynamics of female genital mutilation? It's educating the communities who practice FGM to know that this is a cultural practice that is harmful. We're not saying cultural practices are bad. Cultural practices are good, but there are some that are bad. So what is AI doing in education? AI is allowing you to get real-time quality education at the same place, at the same time, in your comfort zone. I hope I'm communicating. Yes, so that's what AI is doing. And we can take some case studies. I think in Kenya here, you have the M-Pesa Foundation Academy. Is that correct? Okay, so the Academy uses AI to monitor students' progress and tailor educational content to their needs. It allows the algorithm to pick up and give you exactly what you need. We have the Sana Labs from Sweden. Sana Labs uses AI-driven personalized learning to support students in various subjects. We have Duolingo. I think practically everybody knows about Duolingo. So Duolingo is AI. It allows you to learn Yoruba, you can learn Hausa, you can learn Igbo, you can learn Spanish, you can learn any language you want. And it's really, really affordable. It's an affordable option to TOEFL or IELTS. Some schools accept, some schools accept Duolingo. Yeah, you can check it. Some schools accept Duolingo. It's cheaper. That's what AI does. There are some challenges.
I'm sorry, can I interrupt you for just a minute? We have Hawa here to speak.
I was saying don't stop her. I was just saying I have 5 minutes. Oh, okay. No, it's okay. You can go on.
I just would, it's my pleasure to welcome Hawa Taylor Kamara. No intro needed. All of you know, I'll let Hawa introduce herself, but we're honored that you stopped by and we'd like to hear welcoming remarks.
So I don't know if this is the same as New York. Okay, great. And I very much apologize to my sister Lola. I was only trying to say I have 5 minutes. And, so my name is Hawa Taylor Kamara Diallo. Know it all because it all belongs to me. I am a strong African woman. I also hail from the same region as Lola. I'm from Sierra Leone. And I am the chief of the civil society unit in the UN Department of Global Communications. So this is our conference. And I'm simply here to say thank you to all of you for being here. And a big thank you to the Global NGO Executive Committee and all the NGOs that make up that committee for really being our ally over the years. You've heard that there have been 68 UN civil society conferences. For me as an African, and as a woman, I'm very excited that we're here on the continent because this is the first time since 1947 that this conference is being held in Africa. Viva Africa, if you're with me. So for me, I am retiring in about 2 weeks, but it was very important to stay on in this conference planning and to really work with people like Lola, like Connie, like Kevin, to really make sure we deliver something on the continent that is meaningful for us and that is purposeful. This conference, you have the United Nations behind, but the people who are in the forefront are civil society. They are organizations like yours. As you know, this conference, we're organizing it in support of the Summit of the Future. So I am excited to see what will come out of this conference, whether it's the impact coalitions or what would be specific not only for civil society, but I have to be partial, but for the continent, for the global South. Because as I retire, that's what I'm thinking about. What have I done in 38 years at the United Nations that shows me that I've given back to the continent and given back to humanity? I'm sorry, I'm such an emotional person. I'm gonna start crying because I have really been fortunate to have worked at the United Nations, but I've even been more fortunate to work with civil society. I'm in New York now, but I spent 9 years in Habitat. In this conference room, I did so many meetings myself and had the advantage of meeting formidable Africans, but African women and African youth, who for me have nothing different than people I've met in China, Belarus, in Bronx, New York, or in England, but that they don't have access to many things, to resources or to quality education, like what Lola was talking about. So for me, it's going to be important as I leave this platform that I meet you at civil society and to see what we can do for the global South, but as Africans. And what I keep telling, because I work a lot with young people, how do we not keep this information in Kenya? Make sure it goes to Nigeria, make sure it goes to Ghana, make sure it goes to Zimbabwe, that we learn to speak and work as Africans as a whole, and knowing how we also communicate and interact with our brothers and sisters on the other side of the world. So thank you very much, and congratulations to everybody. I know we're talking about AI. I went to the first session that we had, the hackathon. I want to uplift our young people that are there who are really leading the way for us, Jason, and really to thank Connie, Lola, and Kevin, and many, many other people. And I see Ola here from the Global NGO Executive Committee. But these NGOs, movers and shakers, let me talk like a West African now, who have really brought this conference to you. So Asante Sane, thank you so much. I'm sorry I have another meeting. because I'm with the young people and they keep me very busy. I have sneakers on now. Thank you so much. And I apologize again, Lola.
It's okay.
Yes. Let's all give a round of applause for Hawa and congratulations on your retirement.
Thank you so much. Yes, and I hope I don't continue crying because every time I think that I'm leaving, not the UN I can do about, but all these people, I get so emotional. So
And we're crying along with you. Yes.
thank you so much, and I'm so sorry.
Thank you for stopping in.
But I'll see you throughout the day.
You
Yes,
shall.
thank you so much. Back to you, Lola.
Okay.
Okay, bye-bye.
So I spoke about Duolingo. So there are challenges and there are considerations to AI. While AI holds great promise for education, there are challenges and considerations to keep in mind. If you go to ChatGPT and you tell ChatGPT, can you tell me how to rob a bank? ChatGPT knows how to rob a bank, but because of the human element behind the AI, it's going to tell you no. So there are certain criteria, there are certain things you can ask ChatGPT, and it will give you back the answer or the feedback. So some of these challenges that we need to keep in mind is data privacy. We need to also talk about access and equity. We need to think about ethical concerns. AI algorithms must be transparent. It must be fair. It must be free from biases to avoid reinforcing inequalities. I hope with these few points of mine, I have convinced you and not confused you that AI is good and it's here to stay. So get involved. Thank you.
Should we do Rebecca next or the guys?
Yeah.
We were going to save questions till the end, but if that's all right with you, and that way we will move on with our program right now. I'm going to introduce Dr. Yoonhee Jung. She's a founder and president of IVECA, the International Virtual Schooling, and CEO of IVECA Korea. As an NGO representative to the United Nations Economic and Social Council and Department of Global Communications, she served as co-chair of the NGO Steering Committee for an International Day of Education for Global Citizenship. Dr. Jung is dedicated to promoting interculturally competent global citizens for peace and sustainable development by using instructional technologies to transform classroom activities towards globally connected teaching and learning. She has worked with K-12 schools, universities, technology firms, NGOs, and ministries and offices of education in over 25 countries. She earned a Master's of Education and a PhD in Instructional Technology from the University of Virginia and a Bachelor's of Education from Seoul National University of Education. Dr. Young has sent a video because she was not able to join us, and then we'll hear from our young people, Jason and Roy, who put our hackathon together, and everybody is so wonderful, and I'm so happy that they're here with us. Can we make it louder?
So we are going to talk about what IVECA has been doing and our mission and how AI impact on our work and challenges and opportunities we can address. So first of all, let me introduce our program, what we have been doing. Can you imagine what the situation is? In the library, students are looking at the mirror or glass, window. So what is this? Some different languages and scientific graphic here around. You may think this may be just glass, simple glass, right? But this is actually classroom. Future classroom 2030, it was depicted by one of the private sector, thinking what we need to prepare for that. So students, they are in a classroom, but their classroom is connected to the other countries' classroom, and they constantly collaborate and interact through their schooling. So that's a future classroom look. But IBECA has been doing this activity already over 15 years. So why we were doing this? Because by connecting people with the people in different culture, we believe students will build intercultural competence of global citizen that will make them, they will empower them to contribute to making a better world. Why is that so? So intercultural competence has 5 dimensions, as you can see here. Self-awareness, they pay attention to value, why we are learning, what is the important value in life, in humanity. That's awareness. Based on their value system, they try to learn what's going on around them. That's knowledge and data. And attitude, they are very interested to learn about uh, other cultures and people's lives, and they care, they have empathy over others' life. That's attitude. And then they see the issues, then they want to act on it to solve it. That's skill. How do they do that? When they are working together with the people from different countries and cultures, then they need language proficiency, which is appropriate and effective way of communication. So all together, in a holistic manner, intercultural competence can be developed. So we can define the concept as an ability, capability to communicate and interact appropriately and effectively with the people from different uh, cultures and country using different languages. In global and multicultural collaborative working environment based on understanding and respect for cultural diversity. This is the core competency we are trying to build by connecting people through virtual platform. And at the end of the day, by constantly communicating and collaborating with people from diverse background, they will display more of the creativity and then think critically and understand cultural differences and similarities when they are dealing with issues and solving the problem. So how they can solve the problem without feeling for others, feeling for their society, without understanding their belonging to the larger community, they will not act on it. So we need to build their compassion, understand they belong to the larger community. That's the basic of global citizen. So compassion, and by doing so, they build responsibility. So that at the end of the day, those students who has intercultural competence of global citizen will contribute to making the world a better place to live together. That's our goal. To do so, we provide virtual classroom so that students can connect with each other and collaborate and work on projects. And then they meet face to face, I mean virtually like that, to discuss and present their ideas. And like this from home, they can be connected as well. And this is one of the examples. Students are working on a sustainable development goal to solve the issue and suggest idea related to SDG number 7, number 13. But while we are doing this activity, providing this educational program, we encountered that many students are using AI without really thinking how it's going to benefit humanity. So challenges are arising these days is because it is not only between humans, AI and advanced technology make people to interact with machine and technologies. If we don't understand how we interact with them, those technology may shape us or control us. So the challenge could be how we are going to deal with this interaction, not only human to human these days, human and machine and technology, AI. So that those are the challenges. When we are dealing with AI, so one of the challenges is human cannot win over the data set AI can deal with very quickly. So their skill to solve the issues and produce things is very fast and very competent. And those competency become globally standardized capability, but each country has different culture when they are dealing with the problem. Some culture will take it slowly, some culture will take it very quickly, but globally, the competency become more standardized, more than cultural unity, more than cultural diversity. That is challenge these days. How we are gonna promote cultural diversity, and then because AI learned from the data that human being created, so if the data set is biased, this AI will learn from it and feed back to human being, and then this bias become more augmented, which is not good. So in this situation, how we can find opportunity using this IVECA framework, since IVECA emphasizes on building self-awareness, critical thinking, we have to think which one is really true, which one is not true. So you have to have value and ethic, what is right, what is wrong. More of the opportunity is to pay more attention to humanity, empathy, how we care with each other, and awareness. Not only just aware of yourself, but also critically, what could be the best way to shape ourselves, how we think, how we interact with other, and also machine. Those critical awareness constantly reflect on themselves will help our human being to be ready to deal with this AI intervention in human life. And instead of being shaped by AI, we will shape AI for our better future. Then also promote cultural diversity. That's the opportunity we could provide by having this intercultural global connectivity. So at the end, what we would like to see is a IVECA global citizenship uh, applied with artificial intelligence. It should go this way, by building intercultural competence of global citizens. People should have better understanding and respect cultural diversity and collaborate with each other. Also display creativity and critical thinking so that they can contribute to more peaceful, harmonious, sustainable world. Also through constant innovation. That's our ending goal. The opportunity by emphasizing this critical awareness of themselves and empathy, attitude, and intercultural competence itself, we can see the better future together. Thank you so much. In very short time, I wanted to share some overview of our program and what we see as a challenge and what could be the opportunity to tackle AI implementation in our life. Hope it was helpful, and thank you so much for listening. Bye.
Thank you, Dr. Jung. So we've heard about AI use in education, use for teachers, use in classrooms and for students. And now we're going to showcase the hackathon that GNEC has sponsored. And I'm going to introduce our young gentlemen who organized the hackathon. They can tell you more about it, and they're going to introduce the winning projects. And we're so proud of them. They're still high school students. And they're also running the tech in this room. That's why we're seated this way, so that they can run the tech at the same time that we're that they're going to be speaking. So Jason, you is a distinguished 18-year-old leader, speaker, and humanitarian who has worked extensively to bridge computer science with the global decision-making table. His past projects have gained international recognition, with some amassing the attention of world leaders. He has also spoken at multiple international conferences for a total audience of over 100,000 people. In the past 2 years, he has worked extensively with the United Nations and the Global NGO Executive Committee to implement impactful solutions to humanitarian crises. And Royu Yu is a decorated developer and passionate speaker. Outside of his love for algorithmic programming, Royu likes to voice change and use his knowledge of technology to empower it. In 2023, Royu presented one of his projects at the Education Can't Wait's higher level financing forum in Geneva, Switzerland, making his inaugural appearance overseas. Royu has also contributed to the organization of his first and second Global NGO Executive Committee Hackathon, helping to create a platform for youth to explore the amalgamation of technology and sustainability. So, gentlemen, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Connie, for the warm introduction. As she said, I'm Roy Yu. I'm the global coordinator at GNEC Hackathon, and I'm joined here along with
Jason. So before we start, why don't we just like stand up really quickly and like just turn to someone next to you and introduce yourself and just talk to them. Just say hello. Say hello. Nice to meet you. How do we end this? All right. Okay. So that was cool, right? You got to see someone new. You got to meet somebody. All right. That's good enough. It can't stop. The ball keeps rolling. That's exactly why we're doing this. And actually, it is with this mindset, with this connection. See, someone's like adding someone else on LinkedIn right there. But yeah, it's actually with this mindset that we founded the Global NGO Executive Committee's Hackathon. We wanted to create connections that span across the globe. I'm sure everyone here is from diverse places, from everywhere around the continent. Like, we flew in from the United States. There's people from all different continents here. And we want to foster these connections in creating a sustainable future. So without further ado, in the spirit of what just happened there, multiplied on a global stage, let's get right into the hackathon.
Right, so thank you, Jason, for that amazing activity right there to introduce our hackathon. And actually, before we begin, like, some of you might be wondering, what exactly is a hackathon? So our GNEC Hackathon is essentially a technological competition where youth participants are asked to be challenged and explore ways of merging technology with sustainability. So since the 29th of March, young and talented programmers, engineers, and humanitarians have been hard at work. And they've been collaborating, just like you all did just now, to invent new and creative solutions to solve one or more of the 17 SDGs. And in our first GNEC Hackathon, which was last year, we saw a total of 600 participants coming from over 50 countries across the globe. So that was a really outstanding result. But this year, things took an even bigger and better leap as we broke 1,000 participants and the number of represented countries rose to 70, with many of which coming from Africa. We had many people from Kenya, Nigeria, Ghana, and much more as well. So we were really happy to see the increasing interest and participation in our event, and we love to see all the diverse ideas that stem from all 7 continents across the globe, minus Antarctica, of course.
We're getting there, maybe one. I just realized our slideshow did not move. Okay, so
yes.
For that, we'd also like to thank all of our amazing sponsors, so without whom this event would not be possible. And they've been helping us with prizes to help our combined mission of technological sustainability. So here they are.
And of course, none of this would have been possible if it weren't for the amazing support of our sponsors and NGO partners. Our partners worked hard to provide participants with exciting prizes as incentives, but ones that would not only help them now in the present moment, but also further promote their growth and learning in the long run. So these included gift cards for STEAM projects, and free and discounted online subscriptions, and even valued internship opportunities. So listed here are some of our amazing partners right here. Included is, of course, World Assembly of Youth, African Youth Movement, League of Women Voters of the United States, IBECA, International Virtual Schooling, Art of Problem Solving, Alpha Star Academy, Tascade, XYZ Domains, 1Password, and Axure. And of course, we have GNEC, because we are GNEC. And now, before we go into the winners for the second hackathon, we would like to mention a few quick points regarding the prizes. So, Jason, walk through that.
Yeah, sure. So first of all, we have some prizes just for participants. I mean, congratulations, you showed up, you made it through. And we would like to reward you with 20% off of Taskade for everyone. And we are currently running an XYZ domain giveaway in our Discord. So make sure you join up, and there will be an announcement regarding that soon. And also the prize distribution timeline, just keep in mind that the prizes are being distributed by humans, so we take a while to get these prizes to the respective individuals, so it'll take 2 to 3 weeks for everything to be distributed. And that no gift cards should be redeemed within 6 months of obtaining them.
All right, so now is the time you've all been waiting for. We're going to now announce the winning teams for this year's hackathon. So throughout the last week, our esteemed panel of judges from the United Nations and affiliated NGOs have been thoroughly looking through and grading each and every one of your innovative projects. So with each judge coming from unique backgrounds and experiences, we've tallied up all of the scores and decided upon the top 3 projects. And now we would like to recognize each of the winners. I'm not sure if we have time to play all of their submitted video presentations, but we're going to try to get through them. So. Yeah, I think we're just going to show probably the first place. But starting with the third place prize, listed here are some of the prizes that they will earn. This project, aiming to tackle SDGs 11, 12, and 13, this team of 3 was inspired by a universal challenge, parenting. And yet, we would argue that they raised their ideas quite well. We welcome Comfy Bums as the Hackathon's third place winner. Yeah, and unfortunately, we won't have time to show the video. But for second place, here are some of the prizes that they will earn, including an internship at the World Assembly of Youth. So this ambitious team, aiming to tackle SDGs 6 and 7, flew past obstacles that stood in their way of water purity. So we would like to welcome Tarantula X as our hackathon's second place winner.
This is the video, unfortunately we can't cover it again. For the first one, let's do a drum roll.
Hi, we are Kellen.
And of course, for our grand prize, we have the prizes listed here, including an internship at GNEC. And this team hailed from 5 different countries on 3 different continents, and yet found harmony in the bushels, harvesting their ideas with passion and sympathy. So can everyone do a drum roll, please?
You gotta get really into it.
And we congratulate Farm Direct as the grand prize winner for the second GNEC Hackathon. And we'll take a look at their product video.
Welcome to our presentation on Farm Direct. Our platform aligns directly with Sustainable Development Goal 2, aiming to end hunger by improving sustainable agriculture and providing equitable access to local markets and nutritious food. Starting in Indonesia, the heart of diverse agriculture, Farm Direct empowers local farmers. Our success here will inspire farmers everywhere, transforming local wins into worldwide progress. Welcome to the Farm Direct community. Our platform serves a diverse audience, each with unique needs and tremendous potential to benefit from our services. Why focus on small family farms? They make up 90% of Indonesia's farmers and are crucial for producing staples like rice, corn, and cassava, as well as key cash crops. Agriculture supports 1/3 of the workforce and adds 14% to the nation's GDP. As the 3rd largest rice producer globally, Indonesia's small farms are essential. With proper support, these farms can boost productivity and grow high-value crops, improving both the economy and sustainability. Although agriculture employs many, it pays very low wages, leading to low yearly incomes. Farmers encounter obstacles like remote locations and complex supply chains with many middlemen, reducing profits and raising prices for consumers. High costs in production, processing, and distribution lead to the region's highest food prices. Additional challenges include limited land and resources, vulnerability to climate changes, and barriers to obtaining certifications, and lack of financial and technical support, resulting in inefficient production and market restrictions. To solve these problems, we aim to leverage AI, IoT, blockchain, and secure modern technologies. Sensors, part of the IoT setup, are installed in the fields to collect real-time data on soil moisture, pH, soil nutrients, and other metrics. AI analyzes this data, along with location information and other inputs, to provide insights that help farmers optimize yields, predict market trends, make smarter decisions. Farm Direct isn't just about providing a marketplace. It's about creating a community where every transaction supports and sustains the growth of local agriculture. We address specific needs of our diverse buyers, ensuring that they find the quality produce they seek and contribute to a fairer, sustainable agricultural system. Chefs need access to fresh, high-quality ingredients and must meet strict regulations. Tourists often seek authentic local eating experiences, but may find it difficult to source trusted local produce. Health-conscious consumers are looking for organic and sustainably grown produce, which can be hard to verify. Bulk purchasers require consistent quality and reliable supply chains to meet large-scale needs efficiently. Farm Direct ensures affordable, accessible, healthy food for all, especially low-income families. We partner with NGOs like Food Cycle and Dump It Social, leveraging their delivery networks to offer free food deliveries in underserved areas of Indonesia. Our platform stands out, offering a broader range of features. All of this research leads us to the unique value proposition that we offer, seamlessly integrating advanced agriculture tech into every farmer's pocket.
Welcome to the Farm Direct Marketplace, your gateway to explore and shop at local farms. Discover special events, exclusive deals, and high-quality produce at your chosen farm. With just one click, trace your food's journey from seed to table, learning about the growth process and the farmer's sustainable practices. To purchase produce, receive deliveries, enjoy personalized recommendations, and access subscription services, you must register and set up an account. What if you are a farmer? Simply choose this option. Start by setting up your farm with a few details and location and adding your produce. Yes, IoT is part of our plan. Our smart dashboard will help you grow your produce in the most healthy and sustainable way and track the sales status of your products, keeping you informed and responsive to market demands.
We've simplified the process of setting up your wallet and registering your farm and produce on the blockchain. With an intuitive UI you're familiar with, we handle the complexities on the back end, so you can focus on farming.
Our system automatically records important data about your crops, tracks their growth, and lets you share updates effortlessly.
Royo and Jason, you're
Presentation on
amazing. And you deserve all the applause we can give you.
Okay, we have a quick conclusion, I guess.
Yes.
But basically, we would like to congratulate all of our winners once again for their dedication to their projects. Even though we only recognized 3 here, and we kind of ran out of time for number 2 and number 3, all of our amazing projects can be found on the project gallery. So you can go to gnec.ngo/hackathon. There will be some links to direct you to the project gallery, and you can see all of the other amazing projects that came out of this event. But before we go, we wanted to announce the preliminary dates for the 3rd GNEC Hackathon. So kicking off on September 20th, the hackathon will parallel the Summit of the Future and the General Assembly in New York. So more details are to follow on that. We look forward to getting even bigger and better ideas, so we hope to see you all there. And to conclude, we would like to thank the United Nations for inviting us to Kenya and giving us a panel at the 69th Civil Society Conference to close our hackathon and share our winning ideas with leaders, diplomats, and humanitarians all around the world. We would once again like to acknowledge all of our sponsors and judges for their dedication to the event, and to all of our participants for their continued support and participation, without whom this event would not have been possible. So we would like to thank everyone for a successful season, and now I give the floor back to Connie for some final concluding thoughts.
So, thank you so much. We have about 10 minutes left. We can open up to questions if you'd like to poke at our distinguished panel here. Did you have a question?
I think this is not a question, but a message that I think is important, because I saw all the presentation and discussion, and I think that it's something that I really care about, and I would like to pass the message because you might have experienced this before or not, but I think that in reality, not everyone, especially young people in remote areas, like in my country, in Madagascar, to access technology. And I think it's the case in so many other countries, not only in Madagascar. So that's why I think it's important to support these young people and support initiatives from young people at these remote areas. And also, I think it's important to ensure equal access to education and capacity building regarding STEM, especially like this subject IA. And I think that I believe it's not only touching the as I said, countries like African countries or something like that. So I just wanted to pass this message for maybe there are people here that may be concerned about what I'm saying. Thank you.
Alex?
Thank you so much. Let me start by appreciating the presentations that we have received today. They are very insightful and invaluable contribution to the lessons that we continue learning in the convention. My name is Alex Matere. I run an organization called Youth Bridge Kenya, which is based here. My take would be first on the AI. Excellent ideas, excellent innovations that are very impactful to even education, that we as Africa, we think that is the tool to the transformation of our communities and our nations. The biggest hurdle to us is access. I'm speaking about that young parent in an informal settlement of Kangemi, which is basically like 15 minutes drive from here, who has to make a choice between using $1 or $2 to provide the next meal for a family or buying data bundles so that the kid can actually have access to education through the AI. I'm speaking about that young person or young family, probably in one of the remotest areas of this country, in Moyale, who has had an opportunity of not going to school because of the floods, and schools have not opened in Kenya even as we speak for 2 weeks because we are having floods. But AI cannot offer a solution because, one, there is no power connectivity. 2, in terms of even buying the equipment is a challenge. 3, in terms of internet connectivity is costly. So in as far as we continue pushing for this adoption of AI, for it to transform and revolutionize education and access to quality education, the aspect of providing convenient and accessible gadgets and equipment for the use of AI should also be key, not just in Kenya, but across Africa. That is my contribution. Thank you.
Yeah, this one's from my sister in Nigeria. She said that girls are not able to be in school. Now, besides the Boko Haram menace, why wouldn't girls go to school?
Why? Why not?
Why are they not in school? Besides Boko Haram.
Yeah, so for a lot of reasons, girls are not in school. One, early child marriage. So early child marriage is one of the reasons. And the second reason is because we have had incessant kidnapping of young girls from schools. So parents are discouraged. Would you rather have your child at home, or would you rather have your child educated? So you need to make a choice. So that's one of the reasons why girls are not in school. because you have the risk of being kidnapped. It's not just girls that are kidnapped, but girls are more at risk because they are used as sex slaves in Boko Haram camps. So that's why a lot of girls in northern Nigeria are not going to school right now.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Dr. Shani Kabare. I'm a doctor here in Kenya, an aspiring surgeon as well. I'm representing International Students Surgical Network, which has more than 4,000 members and 50 national working groups across the globe. Now, we've talked about telemedicine, and I'm happy that we did. In brief, but I'd like to hear feedback about the importance of AI, not just in training, surgical training, but also in delivery of services, with the key issue being global north versus global south. So innovations being done in global north and then implementation in the global south. I think it should be more collaborative. The second thing being the disparities that we have in urban versus rural and formal versus informal settings, and how AI can help to bridge this, especially now. I know we don't talk much about surgery, but it's critical actually and life-saving, especially in LMICs.
I just want, thank you very much for your presentation and the award. I wanted to, there were awards that are ongoing, but my major concern is how are we accessing this AI to persons living with disability? It was actually mentioned in the previous session, especially people with visual impairment or those who cannot even hear. How are we accessing this? Because we are not leaving anyone behind. Thank you.
One more quick question over there, and then we'll have to turn it over to the panel and close because we need to. But our speakers will be here to speak to you if your question is not answered.
Okay. Hi. Good morning, everyone. My name is Winnie Kamau, and I come from the Association of Freelance Journalists and also a techie at heart. To the young men, I don't know, Jason, yeah. I don't know if, because there's the issue of AI coming into place when you look at it practically. We're looking at the computing power. When you're doing the hackathon, are you thinking of helping going beyond the hackathon and helping just to scale up the ideas, like the first idea, which was really good from Indonesia? Are you looking at their computing power and how they are able to scale it up? And also for Madam from Nigeria with the Boko Haram, I know there are online sessions. I don't know if we have networks, small networks where students can access education online, regardless of the challenges that you're currently facing. I don't know if that could be a solution.
Back to the panel, who would like to answer the questions? Maybe
Let me go first with the questions she asked.
Okay.
Your question was if there are online sessions for students who are not in school, right? So Nigeria is big. We're over 250 million and still growing. And just like your fingers are not equal, there are diverse solutions to diverse communities. And we need to make sure that what you offer in the northern part of Nigeria is not the same solution that you're going to offer in the southern part or in the eastern part because of the different cultural practices and the religious practices. So in the northern part, right now we have an AI and it's called Curie. You can check it online. And that Curie is specifically tailored to the northern part of Nigeria. So what he does is to onboard teachers, train them, and then they offer their services to students. Nothing can be entirely free. So as much as we would like to have everybody online or learning, there must be a sort of payback. Because if you have a phone, that means you can afford to have a phone. So you should be able to at least buy the minimum data that allows you to have access to these courses. Udemy is free. Some courses on Udemy is free. Some courses on Coursera is free. Some courses on Google is free. So these are basic access, that you can take advantage of and improve on your own skills to make you better qualified to get online jobs or even within your own country. I hope that answers your question. Okay.
And I know we're over time here, so I'll try to be brief. But I believe the first question asked was, how does AI address issues with disability and individuals with visual and hearing impairment? I believe the second question asked was also, how do we take hackathon projects and move them past the hackathon to make them even more impactful? And I believe we can answer that with one example actually from the last GNEC hackathon. Our winner from the last GNEC hackathon was an application named SiteCom. This individual developed an artificial intelligence application to help visually impaired individuals be able to understand their surrounding. So basically it would scan for objects throughout the surroundings, and basically it can kind of read out the environment to help them better engage with their environment. So I think that was one of the very impactful solutions that we were able to see from the first hackathon, and to kind of support them past the hackathon. We provided them with an internship to World Assembly of Youth, and actually they're still working closely with Idiola Patrolari, one of the kind of our hosts or organizers of GNEC Hackathon as well. So they're working very closely to continue developing this app to make it even bigger and better. So I hope we're able to answer both of those questions there.
I'd just like to add a little bit. So in the U.S., they just passed a law that moved, or regulation, that moved satellite communication into the 5G network. And many, many other countries are also looking at that. When that happens, your cell phones that have 5G will be connected via satellite and won't need cell towers. That will open up your rural areas, and anything that we can provide on cell phones will become educational to everyone. They plan on adding roughly 2 billion people to the internet with that. There's already almost 6,000 satellites in orbit dedicated to the Starlink network, and there are other networks. And this is an opportunity. It will be late if we wait for that to start, wait for our governments. We need to prepare the educational units and the things that we can prior to that, so that when the governments open up the 5G signal, then we can pass out the education fast. I think it's a big opportunity for us. It's going to be a lot of work, but it's one of the things that I like most about this work.
Thank you to our distinguished panel of experts, and I hope that you all learned something that you can take away today and continue the conversation beyond this room. Talk about what happened here and let it have a ripple effect to go out into the countries and places that you come from. Thank you all for joining us, and this concludes this session. For those panelists that are here, they would like to take a picture by the banner before you all leave. And if you have additional questions, you can contact, again, GNEC is GNEC.ngo. That's how you'll find GNEC online, and we can open up further channels of communication. So it's GNEC.ngo. Thank you, everybody. What a great opportunity for us all to be together.
So Faye, are you representing an organization?
Yeah.
Or which?
So I'm with VVF International, and